Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Zlatan's Fight Picks. We'll be doing the fight picks for UFC 321 Aspinall vs Gane. Well, it's been a minute. It's been a while. I've been very busy, but I've been meaning to get a video out for a bit. And today happened to be the day. So, I hope this video does very well. I hope this my picks are very accurate because it doesn't seem like I've been getting very much out, but hopefully the stars have aligned and I happen to get out the one that sweeps the card in a correct way. So let's start. As usual, as usual from the past, we'll go from the opener to the main event. So let's start. We will start off with Jacqueline Amarine versus Mizuki. Jacqueline Amarine, 5'3", 68 inch reach, 10 wins, 1 loss, 30 years old. Mizuki, 5'3", 65 inch reach, 15 wins, 6 losses, 31 years old. Young and in their prime. Mizuki has been gone. I think she suffered a lot of injuries. I mean, you saw her in the past, and this was like 5 years ago, fight Lemos. And she's very talented. She's very durable. She likes to put a lot of pressure and move forward. She's a good wrestler. She likes to take people to the ground. She's got some decent submissions. And she's going to fight Amarine, who's the same size. And she's fairly aggressive because she's confident in her ground game and she moves forward a lot. You've seen that the fact that she's very dangerous on the ground, but she's also lost a fight where if you can survive that onslaught, she might tire out. This is one of those fights where Amarine seems to be doing better and better, but she's been fighting the lowest level opponents. But then again, Mizuki could be considered a low level opponent. She's gone 3 rounds with Lemos when she was fighting in the strawweight, which is something to be said because Lemos finishes a lot of people, even though she was knocked down in that fight. In the last fight, she struggled a little bit with Goldie, who's not that talented, but she is big and strong, and she's a decent-sized wrestler. So, I mean, looking at it at face value, Amarine's a huge favorite, and Amarine should win. And I pick Amarine to win. I think that she shouldn't get tired. I think the first time she was in the ring, she kind of blew her load in the first round, and then I remember Sam Hughes just piecing her up on the feet and taking her down and out-muscling her, and she was very tired. But having said all that, the bet would probably be Mizuki. And the reason why is Mizuki's a plus 340 underdog. Amarine's only fought low-level opponents, and she's dispatched them very well. But now she's fighting lower level opponent, yes, but someone who's very durable and who's actually pretty good on the ground. So, will that nullify Amarine's arsenal, or will Amarine still get the decision? And I guess this is where I'm heading with this. I think it's going to a decision. Even though Amarine's gotten a lot of girls out, I think this girl might be good enough with her wrestling and on the ground that she might be able to sneak this out. So, even though I think Amarine should win this fight is closer than we think, and at these odds, I mean, if you're going to be betting on an individual fighter, I would not be betting at minus 450 on Amarine against Mizuki. At plus 340, I think Mizuki's got a good chance of winning a decision against Amarine. So the pick officially is going to be Amarine, but my bet as an individual bet would be on Mizuki at plus 340. I think she's got a pretty good shot at winning. I don't think she's Amarine should be a minus 475 favorite. That's crazy. I don't think she's proven herself yet because the girls she's been finishing have been small, low-level girls. So is Mizuki that low level? Maybe. But she does have some strong points. She's durable, she throws a lot of volume, and she can wrestle. And she's pretty good on the ground. So that could be enough. I mean, Mizuki could come in at 100%. Amarine just has to come in at 90%, and there you go. So pick is going to be Amarine. Bet is Mizuki. It's a good bet. Plus 340. I mean, and watch me be wrong, and she's going to get smoked. I can't see her getting smoked by Amarine. I think if she survives the first round, she's live for a decision. Moving on. Azat Maxum versus Mitch. I forgot to see here. Mitch Raposo. Maxum is 5'7", 70-inch reach, 15 wins, 2 losses, 30 years old. Mitch Raposo, 5'5", 64.5-inch reach, 9 wins, 3 losses, 27 years old. Maxum, very well rounded. He's fighting close to home. He is from Kazakhstan, so this guy should be the favorite. He's actually a pretty big favorite at minus 450. He fought he lost a split decision, I think, to a pretty good striker, but somebody who was eventually cut, and I think it was Tyson Nam. And I remember betting on Maxum, and I'm pretty sure Maxum lost that fight by a split decision. And what a letdown that was for me and my parlay. So he can get beat by a fast, good striker in a decision. Yeah, he won the split decision, by the way. So then he fought Johnson. He lost. Johnson's pretty good striker, pretty good on the ground. And I think Johnson just outlasted him. I think at the end just got the better of him in a couple of scrambles and ended up winning the fight. And again, it was a unanimous decision. But Ulanbekov, again, unanimous decision, but close fight. Ulanbekov is very much a top-level guy. So Maxim should win this because he's talented. But do I think he's going to smoke Raposo? I don't know if he's going to smoke Raposo because Raposo is very durable, just like Maxim. He's got good hands, just like Maxim. He's good on the ground. He's a good wrestler. Maybe not as great at submissions, but he's a good wrestler. But he's very stout and he's short, which helps him with the wrestling part, but he's going to be at a disadvantage of the reach part. And you've seen him struggle with guys with long reach, and I think the last time he fought was against Sumadarji, and he struggled with that guy's reach and accuracy and striking. And I think this is what's going to happen with Maxim, but Sumadarji did even have more of a reach, and he was even taller. So, but Maxim could be as talented or more talented. So he's going to struggle, but he might not struggle as much. And he lost a split decision to Sumadarji. So saying that, and then he lost a split decision to Lima, who I consider pretty good. So looking at this, I would like to pick Maxim. I think he's a hometown boy. I think he's close to home. A lot of people are going to be watching him. But the bet is Raposo at plus 325, right? He's at plus 325. Is that what he's at? Because Maxim is minus 475. Was he 475? Minus 550. Yeah, so I think this is going to play out really close. I think Maxim should win, and on paper, I'm picking Maxim. But Maxim comes in at 95%, and Raposo comes in at 100%. We have a split decision. Maxim comes in at 90%, Raposo comes in at 100%. Raposo wins a close decision. At plus 375, the bet is definitely Raposo. But I'm going to pick Maxim to win. He should be the one to win. Hometown favorite, very talented. But we've seen him in really close fights with really good, sharp strikers. Raposo's a pretty good boxer, and he's got wrestling. It could be one of those. So Maxim's going to be the pick. Raposo will be the bet. At minus 550, what are you going to do with Maxim? Cannot bet on him at that range. Hamdi Abdul Wahab versus Chris Barnett. Hamdi Al Wahab. 6'2", 72 inch reach, 6 wins, 1 loss, 0 loss at 32 years old. Chris Barnett, 5'9", 75 inch reach, 23 wins. 9 losses, 39 years old. Chris Barnett, he's 39. He's short, he's fat, he's exciting. Everyone loves this guy. I like watching him fight. But he's going to lose, right? Wahab is minus 575. And you know how I'm always like, well, Chris Barnett's the bet. Well, I can't even bet on Chris Barnett. I think he's there to lose against Wahab. You know, he's going to be the hometown guy. He's from Egypt. That's close. Yeah, you know, and I've seen him struggle with guys, and he lost to Pokes in a split decision and Pokes. But this is not Pokes. This is Barnett. He's going to be far shorter. His striking is not going to be nearly as good as Pokes. But Barnett, you know, Wahab is. You know, he's going to win this, and I don't think he's going to win it by much. And again, the other two before this, I went with decision, and a hair. Again, I think it's going to be a decision because Barnett's tough. He's going to survive. You know, if Wahab doesn't get him out in the first round when he's nice and fresh and powerful, I think he's just going to be lying on top of him. And Chris Barnett should be able to survive it, but he's going to lose a unanimous decision. Moving on, Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Miguel Delgado. Nathaniel Wood, 5'6", 69 inch reach, 21 wins, 6 losses, 32 years old. Jose Miguel Delgado, 5'11", 74 inch reach, 10 wins, 1 loss, 27 years old. Jose Delgado, you know, I bet against him, and I saw some flaws, and I thought that people could take advantage of certain things. And I mean, to his credit, in the last fight, he ended up knocking out a really tough and durable guy in the first 30 seconds, if it was that long. And he knocked out Haider Emil, and he's never been knocked out before. It's one of those things. I thought Haider Emil could beat Delgado, but he got knocked out real fast. But when you get knocked out that quick, what does that really tell you? That could either tell you Delgado is that good, or it was one of those early knockouts that happened to the best of the UFC competitors. And then you got Wood, who has fought the top echelon. And mind you, Delgado has knocked out everybody. And then he knocked out Abil. I mean, he could be the real deal. I could be totally out to lunch on this one. But it's a close fight. I got Wood as an underdog, and I got Wood, who is also got a lot of experience, and he has fought some high-level guys. We don't even know if Delgado is a high-level guy. Everyone's expecting him to be. He's the favorite. He just has a massive height and reach advantage, and that is what's really weighing on me. Having said that, I have to go with Wood. And the only fight he lost in the last couple of years is Naimov. And if you watch that fight, he rushed one position, got turned around, ended up losing a close round. And yeah, and he was actually winning that fight. So really, he's been beating everybody. He even beat Jourdain. Mind you, Jourdain looks really good today. Mind you, he better than he did before. So Delgado's coming in. He could be the real deal, but I got to go with Wood. Much more experience. He's the underdog. By decision, you're going to find a theme here with me, and maybe it's because I'm indecisive, or but it's going to be by decision. So yeah, close fight. I'm going with the underdog on this one. Not as a pick, so I'm not just betting on him. Pick wise, I'm going with the underdog. Moving on, Volter Walker versus Louis Sutherland. Volter Walker, 6'6", 78.5 inch reach, 14 wins, 1 loss, 27 years old. Louis Sutherland, 6'3", 76 inch reach, 10 wins, 3 losses, 31 years old. Volter Walker has found his magic, and it is rush in, grab that leg, and submit them with a leg lock. 6'6", he's a big guy. He's hard to get. He's hard to stop when he's trying to get you down on the ground. He's hard to stop when he grabs your leg. He's very long. He's hard to hit when he's holding your leg. And a lot of times people do leg locks and the other guy can bash him. At 6'6", he's got a little bit of length. And it's been working for him, and he's done it to everybody. The one guy he didn't do it to, though, ended up winning a close decision, and it wasn't a super high level guy. And that was, what's his name, the Polish guy. When he first came on, he fought Brzezinski, and then he lost the decision. He burnt out. He tried to get him on the ground. He couldn't hold him to the ground. And yeah, but then after that, he just started doing leg locks, and he's gotten everybody with him. Everybody. So you would think that he's going to get this Louis Sutherland guy, and he might, because Louis Sutherland's a brand new guy, new kid on the block, really big guy, very powerful, very athletic, young, seems like he's got a ton of energy. And here's the thing is, Walter Walker has done it to a lot of really good guys. And then in Chukwe, even though I consider him very unreliable, he did get submitted. Decent fighter. Is Sutherland better than him? If Sutherland can defend his leg locks, he could win this by decision. So minus 400, is Walter Walker worth the bet? I mean, I'm just waiting for the wheels to come off where he doesn't land the leg lock. And then when he doesn't land the leg lock, he's going to fight the full 3 rounds. So he's been landing it, so I'm going to pick him to land a sub. But if Sutherland can survive, and he's got pretty good takedown defense, he's got a pretty good cardio, and he's not a bad striker from the outside, he will be shorter on this one. So pick's going to be Walter Walker. I don't know if I would bet on Sutherland, but if I did bet on Sutherland to cover myself, I would bet him by decision. So, and that I think is like plus 900. So, food for thought on that one. Moving on. So, Walter Walker will be the final pick. Be careful if he doesn't submit Sutherland. Sutherland could squeak by a decision, which is plus huge money. Abdul Karim El Selwadi versus Mateus Camilo. Selwadi, 5'8", 69", 15 wins, 4 losses, 30 years old. Camilo, 5'10", 69", 9 wins, 3 losses, 24 years old. So Selwadi's very quick. He's a great striker. But chin is very questionable. I think he's a little small for this division at 5'8". You know, he's got a lot of good strikes. He's 30 years old. He's getting better. But he's fighting Camilo, who's really tough. He's really long. He's taller than him, but he's about the same length in arms. And he's a real power striker. And Selwadi, I've seen him get hurt. And that's how he lost his last fight, is by getting first hurt and then getting taken out. And I've seen Camilo throw some bombs. But I think this fight might, actually, I'm looking now. I don't think it doesn't say that it's on here. I don't know if it got canceled. But looking at this fight, it's a 50-50 fight. I'm going to go with Camilo. I think he's going to land the bomb. Even though El Selwadi is the local favorite, he could win this by decision by fighting on the outside and outstriking him. But I could see Camilo landing and winning by KO. I don't want to spend too much time on this fight. I don't know if it's on. Ludovic Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. Ludovic Klein, 5'7", 72.5 inch reach, 23 wins, 5 losses, 30 years old. Mateusz Rebecki, 5'7", 66 inch reach, 20 wins, 3 losses, 32 years old. Ludovic Klein's going to have decent size reach advantage, and this is going to really help him. I think he's very well rounded. He's very powerful. He's very strong. I think Rebecki is the same thing. I think Rebecki, I always have a problem with his body type. I think he's very stout. And I think he's very powerful. I don't think he's very technical, but he's very durable, and he does land. It does work for him. He tends to, he gets a little bit tired, you know, as the fight wears on. I think Ludovic Klein's going to have the better cardio. I think he's going to be a little faster. These guys are both tough. Both Eastern European boys. They're going to be tough. They're going to be throwing down, and they're good on the ground, and they're good. This is going to be a decision. I think this is going to go right to the end. It's going to be a war. But I got to go with Ludovic Klein on this one. I've never been a huge fan with Rebeski, even though I've seen him fight some wars and fight back from adversity, he lost to Duncan. Duncan's been beating everybody by sub. But he lost a decision to Duncan. Duncan's looking good. Orabai won a split decision. What a fight that was. Ferreira, he kind of got tired, and when he couldn't, dominate somebody when he was on top, the wheels fell off there. So, but then he came back with Orabai. So here, I think Klein's a little more technical. I think he's going to win this one. He's fought a lot of high-level guys as well. So Klein's going to be the pick. Slight favorite. Again, decision. You're going to see a common theme on this card. And I'll throw in a few more thoughts about that later. Next fight, Ikram Aliskerov versus Jung Yun Park. Aliskerov, 6 feet tall, 76-inch reach, 16 wins, 2 losses, 32 years old. Park, 5'10", 73-inch reach, 19 wins, 6 losses, 34 years old. Big fan of Park. This guy has won me so much money. He just, the Iron Turtle is such a good name for this guy. This guy is tough. He's durable. He can throw down. He's good on the ground. He can get back up. He's very well rounded. And he's just a very blue collar, very reliable type of fighter, and he can beat most guys. But he can't beat the top guys. Now, having said that, is Aliskerov a top guy? We don't know yet, because we've seen him not do well against the top guys and destroy everybody else. But I see some susceptibility for Park to be on the ground. He can fight off submissions, but he can get taken to the ground and controlled. And he's really good on the feet. I think Aliskerov is a little more explosive, but Park is better defensively, and he's hard to get out of there. I thought about betting on Park, but I think Aliskerov has got a lot of momentum. I think he's very strong. He's going to be tall. He's going to have to reach. He's going to be able to fight him from the outside. Yeah, I think he throws more punches. I think he's going to get a decision here, and he can get some takedowns and possibly win some minutes of control time. So pick is going to be Aliskerov. Park's going to show up. But Aliskerov is from the neighborhood too. You'd think that they want him to win. Mind you, Park is from that end of the world, but not so close, but, from Korea. And then you got Aliskerov, who, besides losing to Whitaker by KO, has beaten everyone else by KO. Park's going to be a hard guy to knock out. I can't see KO. I can see decision. This is a surprise for everybody. Moving on. Feature prelim, I believe. Nasrat Hakparat Quillen Salkil. Hasparat, 5'10", 72-inch reach, 18 wins, 5 losses, 30 years old. Salkil, 6 feet tall, 75-inch reach, 9 wins, 1 loss, 25 years old. Hakparat is one of those guys that's always around, and he seems like he's getting better, but he's always in super close fights, and he's lots of volume, no KOs, but lots of volume, close fights, good striking. His defense has been getting better as far as takedowns go, but he does get hit a lot. He hits a lot. So he's gone through some wars. But the guys he's been fighting, he won split decision by Rybovic, split decision to Gordon. TKO and then a couple of unanimous decisions. So it's been mostly striking guys. And then I think he's had problems with guys that are really tall, that can strike and have a decent ground level game. So that's kind of fits the bill for Salkil. Tall, decent striker, durable, can have takedowns, decent on the ground. And this is where I think it's going to play out. And if Salkil is the guy that I'm thinking he is, because really he hasn't really fought a lot of super high level guys. But judging from how well he did, and again he did against Yashmuz, who's not a high level guy, but he's a pretty good wrestler, and he took him down like 8 or 10 times, and it was continuous. Let him get back up, put him back down, let him get back up, put him back down. So they're not super high level guys that he's been doing that to, but I think that he's tall, he's long, and he's going to give Hasbrat some problems. And I think it's going to be a close decision. It's a coin flip fight. I think Salkild is now the slight favorite. It was a coin flip before. So I'll go with Salkild on this one. You know, even though Hakbrast is from the neighborhood, I think he's originally from Afghanistan. So you'd like to think that they're kind of leaning on him to win. But Salkild is from Australia. It's still in the neighborhood. But I just have this feeling that Salkild will get this decision. And Hakbrast is in a lot of split decisions. He just might not get it this time. Or he just might get it because of the location of the venue. I don't know. I'll go with Salkild. Next one, the main event, main card, Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. Rakic, 6'4", 78" reach, 14 wins, 5 losses, 33 years old. Azamat Murzakanov, 5'10", 71.5" reach, 15 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. This guy's never lost, 36 years old. Why has this guy not had a title fight? So, I mean, you'd like to think as this plays out that Azamat should be winning this and then get a title fight before he's too old. But Azamat's not a big guy for this division. At 5'10", he doesn't have a big reach, but he's super technical. They call him the professional for a reason. Super technical, great striking, takes everyone out by KO. Why hasn't he had a title shot? Alexander Rakic has beaten everybody. He's pretty well rounded. You know, he's not super fast, but he does strike decent. Kind of reaches a lot for his strikes. He uses his 6'4" frame to stay away. Decent leg strikes, but can get leg struck. Can get taken down, but he has good takedowns. It's going to be one of those fights. Rakic is going to win this by decision. I don't think he's going to knock out Murzakanov. And Murzakanov is going to stay dangerous through the whole 3 rounds. And he's going to have a chance to win by KO. Murzakanov is a slight underdog. Again, he's probably the local guy since he's Russian. From Dagestan, and then Rakic being Serbian, he's not the local guy, so you'd think Murzakanov could have, I mean, the storyline would be Murzakanov wins, has a title shot, because the guy's never lost. But looking at the physical body types, I could see Rakic, if Murzakanov doesn't land a KO punch on Rakic, which could be a problem, Rakic wins by decision. Having said that, Rakic got knocked out last time by a guy who fights in a very similar fashion. And that was, what's that samurai guy? He fought Prochazka. And he fought Ankalaev after the decision, but he fought Prochazka, and Prochazka, I mean, he was winning the fight against Prochazka, and then Prochazka just decided, you know what, I'm just going to walk you down, and I'm going to get hit, and I'm going to keep throwing these big bombs until I knock you out. And that's what he did. That just goes to show that he can get knocked out. But then again, that's what Prochazka did against actually, I lost that bet against Roundtree. I had Roundtree, and Roundtree was winning. I was very happy. And then Prochazka decided in the 3rd round that, you know what, I'm just going to knock you out. So it's not like he can't do it to just about anybody. So the question is, you know, is Ankalaev a little chinny? I think he is. I don't think he's durable, but I don't think he's super durable. And I see punches really affecting him a lot more than a lot of guys. But he's not, I wouldn't say he's chinny. He's not super durable. He's durable, but not super durable. Murzakanov seems super durable. But he's almost fighting like in a weight class above. So maybe that's why he's much faster than everyone else, because he seems a little pudgy. He could probably easily go down to 170. So pick's going to be Rakic. This is a parlay buster type of fight, so be careful with it. And Rakic was the underdog, and I think Rakic has moved into being a slight favorite. So everyone's seeing the same thing, that Rakic by decision. Again, big theme for me, right? Decision. Rakic by decision. Or you can bet Rakic by decision and Murzakanov by KO and cover yourself. That's an idea. Alexander Volkov versus Jilton Almeida. Alexander Volkov, 6'7", 80-inch reach, 38 wins, 11 losses, 36 years old. Jilton Almeida, 6'3", 79-inch reach, 22 wins, 3 losses, 34 years old. You know what? My original pick was, and this is going to give out who I'm picking, was Almeida. I'm thinking, you know what? Almeida can get this guy on the ground. He has been taken to the ground. I just had to lie on him and lie on him. But I watched Alexander Volkov's last few fights, and he seems like he's really improving his ground game. He's really improving his get-up game. And just in general, he's just getting better at that aspect of it. And that's not to say that he can out-grapple Almeida, because Almeida's fantastic. But you've also seen Almeida be undersized, and you've also seen Almeida, if he can't take somebody down, start to get a little tired. And he did that against Blades, and then Blades ended up catching him with some elbows. And you got Volkov, who's really long and really tall. He'll be up against the fence. Almeida's going to be trying to take him down. And if he leaves his head exposed, you're going to see some elbows. So even though I originally had picked Almeida to win, I think I'm going to switch it to Volkov to win by KO. And that, again, maybe you can bet Volkov by KO, Almeida by decision. Either way, you're going to end up making money. But you know, if you want to cover yourself, I think that's the way it could happen. So even I wanted to pick Almeida. Almeida could, if Volkov doesn't knock out Almeida, Volkov is going to lose his decision. He's not going to get subbed. He's going to lose his decision. But if Volkov can fight and get back up and strike and win a few strikes, I think he can wear down Almeida. He can win a decision, but I also think he can KO Almeida. So, just ignore that. So, Volkov's going to be the pick. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. Nurmagomedov, 5'8", 69-inch reach, 18 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws. Batista, 5'9", 69-inch reach, 10 wins, 2 losses. You know what? I bet against Batista last time. He has surprised me at how well he did last time. He has surprised me in general. But I see a lot of holes in his game, even though he has improved, you know, and split decision against Aldo kind of ticked me off. Surprised how well he did against Simon. But you know what? This is Umar Nurmagomedov. He almost won the belt. So not to get too far into this, I think Umar got some covered everywhere. Umar is going to be the pick. He's a huge favorite. I don't know if you can bet Umar, but I also would not bet on Batista. So Umar is the pick. Co-main event, Verna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. Jandiroba, 5'3", 64-inch reach, 22 wins, 3 losses, 37 years old. Mackenzie Dern, 5'4", 63-inch reach, 15 wins, 5 losses, 32 years old. Talented ladies. Jandiroba, I don't think there's a height discrepancy. I think they're about the same height. I think Jandiroba is a little taller. 37 years old. She's at the tail end of it, but she is probably the best we've seen her. Her striking's pretty good. She's got good control on the ground. She's pretty strong. Mackenzie Dern, definitely a ground person. Great submissions. Good BJJ. Her striking is getting better. I don't think she's a great striker, but I think they're kind of equal on that. Jandiroba's not a great striker either. But Mackenzie Dern's a pretty decent sized favorite, and you know what? I don't see it. I've seen Mackenzie Dern break. I haven't seen Jandiroba break, and yeah, even though she's 37, I'm gonna go with Jandiroba on this one. I think she's just gonna win a slow, grinding fight by decision. So there you go. Pick the underdog, Jandiroba by decision. Moving on, Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. Tom Aspinall, 6'5", 78-inch reach, 15 wins, 3 losses, 32 years old. Cyril Gane, 6'4", 81-inch reach, 13 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws, 35 years old. Cyril Gane's getting better. You know, I mean, he's normally dancing around on the outside, tapping you, and winning decisions. I think he's going to have a hard time with that. Aspinall's fast. I think Aspinall's going to land some punches. I think Cyril Gane has improved his ground game since he got submitted last time by John Jones. I think he has improved it. And everyone's expecting him to get subbed or KO'd. But you know what's a huge bet is Aspinall by decision. And that could very well happen. So, yeah. John Jones by sub. I mean, but Aspinall is so dangerous. He's dangerous everywhere. But I'm expecting Gane to dance around the outside and hopefully survive. And if he gets taken down, hopefully not get submitted. And the reason why I hope is because I would bet the plus whatever 900 for Aspinall to win by decision. So, yeah, he's been and Aspinall has just been knocking everybody out. Now, is he going to knock? He's subbed Volkov. So Volkov, he did sub Volkov. He got him in a pretty precarious situation. This was a while ago, and I think Volkov's better at defending, but being so big and good on the ground, Aspinall can sub you. So I think there's a really high probability that Aspinall can sub Gane, but if Gane's improved his defense enough, he's going to survive it and still lose a decision. So Aspinall is going to be the pick. I think he beats him everywhere. He should sub him, but the really good bet would be Aspinall by decision. It'd surprise everybody. Otherwise, Aspinall is minus 400. I mean, do you really want to bet that? And he's plus 900 for a decision. It's 5 rounds of you sweating because 5 rounds of hoping Cyril Gane doesn't lose by anything else. So Aspinall's going to be the pick regardless. So there we go. What do we normally do? It's been so long. Yeah, you know, I'll give you my. I think the more confident ones. I'm going to give you the top 5. You know, Nurmagomedov, Aspinall, Abdul Wahab, Klein, Aliskerov. Those are the top ones, and I think the bottom ones are, you know, Wood, Volkov, Raposa, Mizuki. Those ones. Wood, Volkov, I'm actually already picking, and Raposa, Mizuki are the bets. Even though I would pick the other fighters. I think the odds show that they would be the better bet for how close this fight will be. So, nevertheless, those are my picks. I think I went over everything. Also, bet only what you can afford to lose. This is not financial advice. Compare what I gave you information-wise to what you have done with your research, and bet what you think is going to happen. Good luck with that, and I hope it works out for everybody. I hope I nail this. I hope it's all correct, and I hope everybody wins a lot. But thank you very much for joining me. And so this October 25th, I don't know if I'll get out a video after that. I'll try to be a little more consistent, but don't hold your breath. But I'll try to get one out for at least the next pay-per-view anyways. Otherwise, good luck. Thank you very much for joining me. If you like the content, hit like, subscribe if you want to get notified when I do bring out the videos. Otherwise, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll try answering them for you. All right, good luck on the fights, everybody.